No, really, poor black people. We are kind of jacked up, kind of messed up, suffering, many in this nation. But I'm not talking about, I mean, as terrible as it is, like a lot of these police killings and Confederate flag waving, church killings, South Carolina, and all these things that have been going on for years and years and years. When I say poor black people, I'm talking about poor black people. I'm talking about no money black people. When there's no money, there's no power. That's the problem. That's the problem in this nation as far as African Americans are concerned. That's why we're so disrespected. That's why we're so mistreated, because we ain't got no money. We ain't got no power. No money, no power, no respect. You can march all you want, beg and plead, please quit treating me this way and all this stuff, but it's to no avail. They don't care. Nobody cares. You don't have any money, got no power, got no respect, nobody cares. You remember that old saying, money talks, and, well, what does it say? Money talks, right? Money does talk. That's for real. But we don't have it. That's the problem. I mean, you don't see anybody else being drug out of their cars. You don't see Koreans being drug out their cars, Jewish people being drug out their cars and shot and beat, white folks, black folks, in this nation. Terribly mistreated. So we ain't got no money, we ain't got no power. That's it. Mexicans too. Because they ain't got no money, they ain't got no power either. But trust me, they're going to get there before we do. And we have to do something about it. That's what we're talking about today. There's marching and begging isn't going to do it. Nobody cares. You know, I tell you just about every program, you know, my remedy is that, you know, first thing we got to do is stop getting the buzz of any kind. Stop committing crimes, even petty crimes of any kind. Stop eating bad food, get ourselves healthy, get ourselves educated, get ourselves armed legally, stand our own ground. I mean, that's my remedy. Let's see, nobody's willing to do that. It's a lot easier to just sit back and beg somebody and march and protest. It does nothing. I was at work the other day, man, and something went down, and one of the workers there got very upset. And I said, well, you know, this is how we can fix this. This is what we got to do. We got to do this, got to do that. And she was like, I went about her business. Because as black folks, what we'll do is we'll scream and cry and complain about something that's terrible. Then it's like, oh, well, acquiesce. This is just the way that it is. And this is good from years and years of conditioning. It's like slavery. How many of y'all roots, remember? Remember Kunta Kinte? He kept running away. And they finally beat the mess out of him and they cut off his foot. He wasn't running away no more. So I mean, you know, in all, you know, understanding, as far as the black condition, and that's what it's been, it's conditioning in this nation. We are conditioned to be mistreated, then to complain, cry about it, march, protest, and then, oh well, go about our business. That's it. And so that's where we're at today, and that's what we do. But it's not going to work. I mean, I think it worked for Martin Luther King to a point. I mean, to a point. I look at Martin Luther King as part of this particular relay race, and his particular part of the race with that baton, he did what he needed to do in his way. But that part of the race that he ran, the terrain that he was running over, isn't like the terrain that we have today. And it's not going to work. That marching isn't going to work. Black Lives Matter isn't going to work. None of that's going to work. I mean, the sentiment is good, and the heart is good, and the desires are good. But see, you know, what's going to work? It's not going to work. And even when you look at the political process, you know, Bill Clinton, first black president, you know, and you know, we had, and we came on to City Hall playing that saxophone. I voted for him. You know, I played saxophone. I liked that. That was cool. And we had, you know, George Bush, you know, we're complaining. We had like Barack Obama. We love that, African American people. But the reality is, you know, I was in the military when Carter was president. You know, we got all these presidents, Carter, you know, Reagan, Clinton, the Bushes, and you know, and then Obama and all this. And who's going to be president next? Who knows? But the reality is black folks' lives are not even going to be changed. You know, I voted in some of those elections, but I didn't vote in all of them. You know why? Because I really didn't care. I didn't care who was going to be president until I realized a black man could be president. And I said, hey, I voted for Obama both times. But my reality is this, that no matter, I've been a working man all of my life. I went in the military at 17. I think I've been unemployed a matter of 5 months total. I'll be 57 this year. In the past 40 years, in 40 years since I left home at 17, I've been unemployed for only months. So no matter who's been president, it hasn't really affected me. I've just been doing what I've been doing. It doesn't matter. And what I'm saying is, on whatever level you are, whatever economic level you are on, it doesn't matter who's president. Your situation really isn't going to change that much. Even if you're on welfare and collecting this and collecting that, your situation isn't going to change that much, no matter who's in office, Republican or Democrat. So it's not like the Democrats have been saviors to black folks. It's not like the Republicans, have destroyed any black folks. People that were on welfare when the Republicans were in office, same people on welfare when the Democrats were in office. It's not that much of a deal. The reality is your particular lifestyle. Do you want respect or not? If you want respect, you got to take respect. We're in a situation today where, and I think the biggest problem is, again, it's the money thing. There's no money, there's no power. We don't own anything. We don't own any businesses. We're not creating any money. We're not really making any money. We're just getting money. We're spending money, and then we're half broke till payday, just to get paid and do it again, over and over and over. And what kind of legacy do we leave our children? That same thing. We need to start some business. We need to have businesses. The first millionaire female in the United States of America was a black woman. I can't remember her name. But she sold black hair products. She created them and sold them. Because white folks didn't care about black hair, she created them. Not only the first black millionaire, she's the first female millionaire, period, in the United States of America. Black hair care. Now today, who's getting rich off of black hair care? Well, I think white people are getting rich off of black hair care, basically, because they're creating it. But then you got, look at the merchants. You got the Korean merchants. I mean, they're making a killing over there, right? Everywhere. Black hair products. That's something we came up with. That's something that it's our hair. But we're not making any money off of it. Think about that. Okay? Grocery stores in our neighborhoods. We've got a lot of Arabs over here, and that's cool. I mean, I have no problem with anybody coming over here. I've lived in foreign countries before. I know how difficult it is to move like that. So these guys are the special people. These are the people, the Koreans that are here doing the hair products, the Arabs and the Indians that are here doing the grocery stores and the gasoline, and all the people that are here. What they're doing, I commend them. And what we need to do as African Americans, we need to learn from them, look at them, and figure out what they're doing. And do what they're doing and take our businesses back. We need to begin producing in our own neighborhoods, and buying in our own neighborhoods, investing in our neighborhoods, have our neighborhood businesses. And so that we purchase from the businesses, black-owned businesses in our neighborhoods, and so it's like, and the black-owned businesses are actually giving and purchasing in the neighborhoods. And we need to grow some communities. We look around all over this country. Every other little ethnic or groups have their own little communities, their stores, their towns. We don't. This is what we need to do, and we can do this. But we have to. We have to become producers and not simply consumers. We'll never have any money. We'll never make any money. We need to be building up some communities, black communities in this city, but in this nation. Merchants, we need to begin supporting black merchants. But then there is a responsibility of the black merchants to begin providing good food and good products. But even recognizing as consumers that their products may not be good at first or perfect at first, but just giving them, a particular amount of time to get it together that will service you for a short time. I know there's a particular merchant, that African American trying to support our people. I have a friend who was drinking a Dr. Pepper, that she had bought from this guy, and she happened to look at it, it was expired for like months. We can't do stuff like that. Merchants. And the merchants, we just can't, expect. See, the merchants want black business. They want black folks to support their business, but then they're going to take their money out here in Miamisburg or Centerville or something and spend the money. See, that ain't going to work. So we have to have a whole new mindset. That's why these other big people aren't doing that. They're getting they think of community. They think of family, they think of community, they think of leaving a legacy to their children and their sacrifices that have to be made. And I have to believe again it's because of the conditioning that we have had over the years. Because we were split up, our families were split up. You know, if there are too many people, you know, congregating here that had good relationships, well, we'd split them off, send them to different places. And so there was like hundreds of years of division and conditioning people to be just surviving for themselves and not really concerned about anyone else. And not really concerned about tomorrow, but just surviving for today. And even though we're not living in that same situation that our ancestors were hundreds of years ago, we still have that mindset of day-to-day survival, so we really aren't doing much better. But we can. And we're going to have to, because nobody else is going to do it for us. And so what I'm suggesting is, hey, you know, we're having meetings, coming together and just meeting, brainstorming, trying to do a thing. Create. To me, one of the biggest issues that we have in our community is we don't have pride. We really don't. I mean, we have a tremendous, we're killing each other in our neighborhoods. We know that. You know, white folks tell us all the time, we're saying Black Lives Matter. Well, you're killing each other. We know that, but still, don't let anybody sell that to you. How the black on black crime somehow justifies, you know, the persecution of white folks, because just from a percentage perspective, there's the same percentage of white folks killing white folks than there are black folks killing black folks, because people of the same race usually live together in the same general vicinity, in the same neighborhood. So the people that they kill are going to be people of their own race. People they commit crimes against are the same. So don't let anybody try to dismiss the racial situation we have by saying, well, there's so much black on black crime, because the percentage of black on black crime matches the percentage of white on white crime, okay? It's a human condition. You commit crimes against the people that you're around. You usually don't venture out into other neighborhoods to commit crimes on other races of people, no matter what race you are. As well, I think 65 to 70% of hate crimes are perpetrated against black people. So as far as one race perpetrating crimes against another race, it's other races perpetrating crimes against black people. Okay, so as far as races committing crimes against themselves, it's the same percentage. White folks are white folks, black folks are black folks. As far as hate crimes, black folks are the victims 65, 70% of the time. So just consider that. That's a reality. As far as protesting and marching and begging about it, don't do that. You know, you have to figure out, I mean, you're in the middle of a fight, okay? You're in the middle of a war, a fight, whatever you want to call it, and you keep losing. You got to come up with another game plan, man. I mean, I used to practice the martial art, and I'd go to be in a fight, what they call kumite. I'd be fighting, and I might have in my mind the strategy I was going to use, and I had this one that start off with like a kick, like a roundhouse, low high. But if I got there and tried it, and he had a block, and then I tried again, he had a block, man, I can't just keep trying the same thing if it ain't working, okay? So I'm saying, look, protesting, begging, who are you begging to? Who are you protesting to? Who are you screaming Black Lives Matter to? Who cares? I guarantee you, if Bernie Sanders listens to Black Lives Matter, if his opponent Hillary listens to Black Lives Matter, if Donald Trump listens to Black Lives Matter, and all those guys he's running, if all of the presidential candidates listened to Black Lives Matter and started committing all that, I promise you, when they get into office, Black lives won't matter no more. Black lives only matter to both parties till they get your vote and they get in office, and then it's business as usual. Oh, I'm not the black president, I'm everybody's president. You know, I understand that concept, but I think it's just a reality of us realizing it, not looking for somebody else to give us another handout. That it's time for us just to get ourselves together. Now you say, well, okay, Martin, well, how do I start my own business? I don't know. I'm not a business owner. Well, I am not that type of business owner. But see, this is what we need to do. We need to come together and talk. We're meeting. We're meeting in about 3.5 to 4 weeks. I don't know the exact date right now, but text me. And my number is at the end of this program. Text me. You will be invited. We will get something together. We'll brainstorm. I already have some people that are coming. Some business owners, some enlightened folks, some people with ideas. I have a couple ideas of my own. But to be organized, to get it together, start at community level, and just do something for this community. Start here. Maybe we'll start something really cool, really large, and we'll name it after Dayton or something, you know. I don't know. But I'm not satisfied with situations being as. My life is fine. I'm satisfied, but the condition of black folks is not well in this nation, in this community. Come on, I'm the mailman, in West Dayton. I see what's going on. It's a mess. We're a mess. And the people that are not a mess, who really aren't doing that well financially, just a paycheck or two outside of being poor themselves. That's just the reality. We need to get it together. We can get it together. And nobody's going to help us. It's got to be us. So just to recap as we close, these are always kind of short programs, but hey, I have some other ideas as well. I was on Facebook the other day. Before we recap, let me throw this in there. I was on Facebook the other day, and this woman that I work with shot this picture down of her when she was young. And man, and she was like really sharp. All of us, I think, as we get older, we kind of say, oh, well, this is what it's supposed to be. We're getting older. But I believe in is that we acquiesce to age long before we need to. We acquiesce to weight issues, and we don't need to do that. We can keep ourselves well. We can keep ourselves strong. We can keep ourselves healthy by eating right, by exercising. For me, like I'll be 57 in a couple of months. And I know I saw a couple pictures, like a picture of when my daughter was born about 10 years ago. I just put it on Throwback Thursday on Facebook, and I got that my stomach was sticking out there. I'm like, dang, really? That was me? That was 10 years ago. I was like 46 then. I'm 56 now, and I'm in like better shape than I was then. I know my internal organs and all that, but I'm eating better. I'm exercising more. I'm doing the things that I'm supposed to be doing. I'm getting educated. I'm expanding my brain, my mind. I'm exercising. So I'm exercising my body, my brain, my soul, my spirit. Everything about me, I'm exercising. I'm getting well. What I'm saying is that's what we need to be. Well, do you know what I'd like to see? See, I believe that as we begin, that's why I start off, we need to stop getting the buzz. Because if we stop getting the buzz, our minds would start getting right. We start thinking about things that we really should be thinking about. I know about the buzz. There are things you need to do, get a buzz, you don't do them. That's just the way that it is. Mind, get a clarity of mind. If you start eating right, start getting healthy, start ingesting the right food, stop ingesting the wrong food, stop smoking, stop doing all these things that are killing your body, your mind starts getting clear. You even start having ideas simply from that. There's so much that we can do. The first thing we have to do is just get ourselves together. So what I'm suggesting is a couple of things. We need to stop getting the buzz. Right? We need to stop committing crimes, any kind of crimes, even petty crimes. Right? We need to get educated. We need to get armed legally. We need to stand our own grounds. For real. But we also need to begin owning businesses, operating businesses in our communities, black-owned businesses. And we, as black consumers, we need to begin sowing into those merchants, and those merchants need to be sowing back into the community, and we can strengthen our own community, because if we don't do it, nobody else is. And what I'm suggesting today is that, it might be a little too late for us, for our particular lives, but it's not too late for the lives of our children. We can set up a situation for them. When you see those Arabs coming into town and running those grocery stores, or the Indians running those gas stations, or even the Koreans doing those hair places, they're not rich. They're not wealthy. But they believe and they understand that if they make the sacrifices for their lives today, that their children and their grandchildren will be wealthy, and they will. We need to adopt that mindset. It's no longer about survival, day-to-day survival, doing whatever I can today and not from forgetting about tomorrow, just as long as I'm okay today, and then tomorrow coming, and then we're worrying about tomorrow. No, it's about sacrificing today, so tomorrow will be well. Okay? Well, how's that? Well, I guess I will bid you farewell. I do want to thank you once again for joining me and listening, and I want to invite you to listen again.